Yo, what's up, everybody? Alright, we are back again with another live. Today is open topic, so y'all can talk about whatever y'all want as we wait for these notifications to go out and all that good stuff. Just waiting. Today we're gonna talk about anything y'all want, so there's nothing to pretty much hold back and within the entertainment business and things like that. So that's always a fun topic to talk about. So y'all can bring up whatever topics y'all want and we'll get into it and stuff. So while we wait again, sometimes the algorithm could be a little funny and they could be late with these notifications and it just comes with it. Here just hanging out, just seeing what's up. So again, just while we wait for these notifications to go out and things like that, I know it's giving a time for everybody so we can just join in and talk and chat and just hang out and all that good stuff. So y'all can drop your questions, comments, all that good stuff. So we could take a look at and things. So things are dropping left and right still with WB and DC, and of course lovely Marvel with the things that they're posting up and announcing and things like that. I don't know. This entertainment business is just right now kind of funny in a funny situation. But just when good quality comes out, they try to like shadow and cover it so people don't know about it, and they just want generic movies out there and basic things just because So again, it is what it is with this industry right now, and it's pretty fun to see how things are kind of shifting, but at the same time, you see all the crybabies out there in the sense that are against good entertainment. They don't want that. They just want generic stuff, and they don't really want anything good out there. But it's gonna be interesting to see how all these things are going, and it's just we need good change in this entertainment side of the business when it comes to movies, games, comics and everything. 'Cause people are just tired of nonsense. People just want good quality and things like that. And there's still good quality out there. It's just hard to come by and hard to find it in things. And but it's all out there, you know. And that's with everything, with the gaming, the movies, the comics, all of this stuff right now, you know. Because we just need good entertainment. I'm sick and tired of all this trash in the industry and the things that we're not seeing and stuff. Hey, what's going on, Kinata? Appreciate you for watching. Also, everybody that's starting to tune in and all that good stuff. Like I said, today's open topic. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all want. You can ask whatever you want and stuff like that. Again, I know probably because of the time and stuff like that. I'm on the East Coast, so it's 3:40 here. It's probably like 12:40 on the West Coast and stuff, and like 2:40 in the Midwest. So I get it. A lot of people are still waking up and stuff on certain parts of the world and things like that. So it is what it is. So y'all can ask whatever y'all want. Like I said, I'm still working on that comic, bringing things up and things like that. Will I ever do a face review? I don't know. Maybe in time. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in time. Right now that's not a priority. Honestly, it's just bringing y'all the content and everything that we need to talk and just check out and things like that. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. Things could change and then it could happen. So anything is possible. Hopefully everybody's having a good day and stuff like that. So um yeah. Yeah, I know this whole game, what is it, the game com or whatever that thing is called is going on, and I'm trying to keep up to date with that Resident Evil and stuff like that. So yeah, I know they dropped a trailer, so I gotta check that out. There's too many things coming out left and right, which is good. I'm not complaining. But it's a lot of things that are dropping left and right, and that's good. We need good entertainment. That's all. Did you watch K-pop Demon Hunters? Nah, I haven't seen it yet. I've been hearing good things about it, but I just haven't had the time to see it, honestly. It's very time consuming. I live a busy life, and it's like it's hard to make time for everything, and especially to watch shows and stuff. And then when I want to watch a show, I probably don't even feel like watching it no more. And then I'll just like get on the PS5 and just game, and just start playing games and stuff. So like I pretty much waste my time on that. But yeah, I've been hearing good things about it, but I don't know. I'll probably check it out, maybe check it out. So if I really make the time for it and stuff like that. So um, any Transformers fans out there? Because I've been looking for some studio series, and I went today to a few stores. I couldn't find crap. They didn't have nothing in stock, or probably the scalpers already got to it, which is wild. Then they're reselling it on freaking online for like 3 times the price. It's nuts. It's hard to be a collector sometimes because you try to get these things, or you try to order them online, they sell out, or they sell them at scalpers price, and it's like what the hell, and then you have it on pre-order, and then all of a sudden Target and Walmart has it. It's like what the hell? Like I still have it on pre-order, and then when you don't pre-order it, you just miss out, and it's like you don't get that item you were looking for and stuff like that. So now I'm waiting for one of those Transformers figures, the Titan class, Nemesis. I didn't get it on time. That crap hasn't been, re-released, and hopefully they do end up releasing another one. But and then you try to find it on online, and it's like 3 times the price. I'm like, who the hell's paying these prices? You know, it's pretty nuts, pretty nuts. Justice League 2 or the Batfleck movie. Damn, that's a hard one. That really is a hard one. Damn, I think at this point, between both of those, I think I would want to see. Honestly, damn, I think I want to see the Batfleck movie, just because it would open the doors back again. To create excitement for people to be like, yo, like something else is building up or whatever it is that they're trying to do. And I would say just kick it off with with Ben Affleck and The Dark Knight Returns. That would be dope. That would be awesome if they were to do that. But knowing dumbass WB, they don't know what quality is anymore. It's crazy how this studio literally doesn't care about quality, and then they try to rush out products and stuff. But it is what it is. Hopefully, when the Snyderverse is restored, we'll get Christopher McQuarrie and Michael Bay to direct Man of Steel 2 and 3. You imagine that? That would be dope. That would be amazing. That would really really be amazing. And that would be nuts, honestly. I would like to see that happen. That would blow everybody away. I think that would be very interesting. Hello from Bolivia. Appreciate you, Daniel. Appreciate you for watching from Bolivia. Nice, nice, beautiful place. I've never been there, but I've seen pictures and videos, and yes, it's very nice. Um, it's like every country, like every country has its good and it has its bad, but I always try to focus on the positive and things like that. 2026 will be the fall of James Gunn. Hell yeah, that's the goal. Hell yeah, you already know that has to be, especially with these rumors that you all saw that I posted those 2 videos, the one with Matt Reeves and what's going on with the Batman. I'm telling you, there's a big shakeup happening over there. Things are not looking good. Things are not like how they really want, and everything is switching. I told y'all this is what's going to be happening until James Gunn's contract is over 2026, and that's literally a year. And probably, what are we in, like August? We got September, October, November, like probably like 2.5 months extra. So we still have 1 year and like almost 3 months on top of this garbage James Gunn's universe that's happening and stuff like that. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you for watching. Also, we're here just chatting, chilling. You already know it. Like I said, open topic. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all want and stuff like that. Like I said, it's just DC. I don't know. DC is just a dumbass company right now, and everything that they're putting out is just not interesting. To me, it's just slop. Everything that they're putting out. I am not interested in watching Peacemaker season 2. I'm not watching that. I don't care if the Batman 2 gets made or not. Honestly, might as well just cancel that and go back to the drawing board. Go back to where things left off and just continue, with what was making the studio money. And we already know that was with the Snyderverse. And we already know now that the numbers don't lie. Superman was a flop, period. That's it, period. It was a flop. It didn't work. It didn't get the money that they thought they were gonna get, and it's all courtesy of James Gunn. James Gunn wanted to bring in this stuff. What he's doing, you're getting it. You're getting it. And that's the problem. WB sinking fast by the week completely. Batman Hush 2 is flopping. Nobody nobody wants to see Batman versus the Bat Family. Yeah. Nah, I'm not interested in that. It's crazy how, like, what the hell does WB, like, how do they, what I want to know is, like, who the hell is actually approving of all this besides James Gunn and David Zaslav? Like, who else is actually in WB and saying, oh, you know what would be good if we do this and we do that? Like, yo, like, just listen to the fans and give them what they want. Like, what's so difficult? That's like the big issue in this industry. What's the hard thing to give the fans what they want? What's so hard? What's so complicated about that? I have no idea. It's like they have a problem with giving fans what they want. It's like, oh no, we can't give the fans what they want. They want this, but no, we can't give them that. Jim Lee approves of, yeah. Oh, okay. So Jim Lee approves a lot of their crap. That's very interesting. This is what I'm telling you. Like, don't get me wrong. Jim Lee's a good artist. I like him, but when it comes to leadership, he's another one that sucks also. And yeah, he's another one that sucks honestly. And they just do it for the paycheck. So I get it. And these people are already like established artists and things like that. So they're just a name. But when it comes to like the actual guidance and leadership of a company and the IP, they have no clue what the hell they're doing. Honestly, it's like, it's not hard. It's really not hard. It's not tough. And they got the money, they got the people. They just don't have the guidance. They don't have the right management. They don't have that leader mentality. And it's like every time that they put out something, it's like, what stupidity are they gonna put out next? And it sucks honestly. Jim Lee is a great artist, but CEO of DC Comics, no way. Yeah, I agree with you. No way. He's not. You know, Jim Lee, what's his name? James Gunn, Peter Safran, David Zaslav. They're just not good at that. Stick to what you're good at. Jim Lee is good at drawing. That's what you should stick to. That's it. Period. Like, I'm not gonna come here and say, hey, look, I think I'm good at this, but let me give it a shot. Nah, it didn't work. Hell nah. I know that that's not for me. But the leadership with WB, it's completely a mess. Scott Snyder is the best writer they have right now. Him and Capullo was the best team ever. Yeah, yeah, they were. I know Scott's putting out some good stuff. I think he's the one that's writing also for, what is it, Absolute Batman. And I be hearing a lot of good stuff. Jim Lee has to shield for garbage like Cornball Sweat to keep his job. Yeah, a lot of them do, Ray. I appreciate you for watching also. That's the thing. That's the problem with this industry. A lot of people tend to forget who they are, where they're from, and they just want to cater to the shills, which that's a big no-no in this industry. You don't do that. Like, screw the shills, screw any agenda, and just go out there and make money. That's it. Sean, what up? What up? Appreciate you for watching. Jack, what up? What up? Appreciate you for watching also. Absolute Batman is great. I gotta check it out. I don't know. It's just something about, I don't know. I guess it's the big underwear that Batman's wearing that just doesn't catch my attention, and the long exaggerated ears. I'm just not a fan of it, honestly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm real picky and I'm real selective. I see certain art that just doesn't catch my attention. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to like really really get into it just because of that. You see. I know that McFarlane Toys just put out a Batman figure. I don't know which one it is, but it's the all black one with, like, it looks like the Keaton one, and the ears are extremely long. And I'm like, I keep seeing that at my Walmart, like it's overstocked, and I'm like, damn, those ears, I just can't, like, they're exaggerating. Like, for me, it's just me, my point of view and stuff. I know some people like it, but I just can't get into it. I know you're not a fan of Lego Batman, but the recent trailer for the fourth game looks dope. Yeah, for the ones that like Lego Batman, more power to you. Enjoy it. I'm not a Lego Batman. I'm not really into like Lego and stuff like that. But to the ones that are, like, enjoy it. Lego Batman has no references to Affleck. The bias is strong. Damn, for real? Damn. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't like about WB, man. When it's convenient for them, oh, let's go ahead and milk the Snyderverse and the Snyder fans. But when it's not, there's like, oh, let's not even bother. Like, we'll put everything else except what was greatness, because they're just trying to get away from it. They're just. But it's funny, jokes on WB with DC, because wherever they go with Batman, the Snyderverse will forever haunt them. Period. You know, they can just say what they want and try to ignore it, but it's always going to haunt them. I think Andy and Jeffrey Wright will not come back to the Batman too. Jeffrey says he's still down for it. Now Andy, that's a different story. Andy directs and stuff, so who knows? Maybe his schedule, but again, anything can happen. So I don't know. I just don't see the Batman 2 happening. I see it joining James Gunn's DCU. At this point, they just might as well. And supposedly, there's a rumor too that apparently Matt Reeves has bent the knee, and he's he's gonna give in to James Gunn's DCU. That's the rumor that's floating around. I heard that in some video I saw today, and straight up, if that happens, I'm telling you right now, yo, like, just I don't even have words to say how ridiculous that sounds. But you might as well at this point, honestly. So if James Gunn's listening or his team, take notes, do it. Just make it happen. While you're at it, throw in Batmite. I'm telling you, you got my curiosity. I want to know what the hell Batmite can do and what James Gunn could cook with that character. That's what he does. Those oddballs. Let's see. Robert Pattinson mask looks like the basketball head mask. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's all like stitched and stuff. I don't like that cow. The rest of the suit, the cape, all that stuff, it looks cool. But it's just I don't know. It's just not my favorite Batman, honestly. I would prefer George Clooney's Batman over Robert Pattinson's Batman, and that tells you a lot. Aztec Batman. Yeah, I seen images on that. Never looked into it. It looks dope. It does look dope. Should they put the Snyderverse in Fortnite? Hell yeah. I know that there's a survey, and in that survey, the Snyderverse characters were brought up. And that's interesting, I know from some of them, they had Aquaman when Aquaman 2 came out, the movie. What else they had? They had Shazam. No, not Shazam. Black Adam. Who else they had? They had, well, Wonder Woman's not really from it, but she kind of looks a little bit like it. Um, so that's pretty cool. Those are the only three that I've seen. They got Harley Quinn from David Ayer. I got that skin, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, if they do that in Fortnite, that would be dope. They need to bring the Batmobile. Rumor has it that they are bringing the Batmobile to Fortnite, so I can't wait. Once they bring in that Ben Affleck's Batman, I'm buying that. And of course, Keaton. Supposedly, it's gonna be the first one. Keaton, the Batmobiles is they're gonna be bringing soon, so that should be dropping soon. But again, that's the rumor. But I know in Rocket League they get the Batman versus Superman Batmobile, so it would be good if they just transfer those files and bring them into Fortnite because they're trying to like merge both of them. I mean, it's the same company, but you're gonna have Rocket League inside of Fortnite, which will be cool. So that way you don't have to play one game and the other. Nah, just unlock everything in one go. That would make sense. Karma's a B. Hack Reeves should have bent the knee. He should have bent the knee earlier and kept Affleck. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Screw Matt Reeves, honestly. Like I can't support Matt Reeves just because he straight up turned down Ben Affleck. He could have done a Ben Affleck movie. It would have been called The Batman because remember that was going to be the original film from what Ben Affleck's movie was going to be. But no, he took it away. He aligned with WB and said, you know what? Screw Zack Snyder. Screw the Snyder fans. Screw the community. I'm going to do what I want to do. And look at where he's at right now. So honestly, as a fan, fuck Matt Reeves. Honestly, that's how I feel. And if you got your feelings hurt because of that, so be it. But I'll re-say it again. Fuck Matt Reeves. Because he could have been banking, and I guarantee you WB would have made much more money if they would have stuck with Ben Affleck and just continued all this. Like it's just complete stupidity from the studio to have moved away from what Zach had created. There was no need to reboot nothing. They should have just kept going. Are you getting the Mortal Kombat collection? I might get it. I mean, I have it on what is it on N64, on the Nintendo 64, the Mortal Kombat trilogy, and I know the other ones bring I think some other games and stuff like that. I think Mortal Kombat 4 and stuff like that, which is cool. It's nice. That way people can see how we used to play games back in the days and how Mortal Kombat started and stuff like that. So I might get it, but probably later on. Not in a rush since I already have it on the 6.4 and stuff like that. David Corn Sweat Superman. He looks like Stan Smith, American Dad. That's funny. Yeah, fuck Matt. Restore the Keaton and Affleck verse. Yep, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like I just don't like Matt Reeves just because of that. He had the opportunity. He even admitted that he was like, "Yo, I could have done it with Ben Affleck, but I chose not to." And for that, fuck your universe. Honestly, real talk. I'm just telling y'all straight up. I don't care how y'all feel. Fuck Matt Reeves and fuck his universe. Straight up. I just don't like it. That boring ass universe. Zach characters in Fortnite should be hunting down Cornball Sweat and Pissmaker characters. Yeah, and they're gonna end up adding Pissmaker to freaking Fortnite eventually. I read something somewhere that they're trying to do that and stuff like that, but it's just annoying. I couldn't stand the last season just because they had that Superman and they're trying to force everybody with that marketing just on Fortnite. It was annoying. Superman's doing bad on digital. Super flop. Yeah, I heard. I heard. I saw Aaron's most recent video and he was talking about it. That's good. That's good. That's why numbers don't lie. All these James Gunn shills and all these cultists are like, oh yeah, we're eating good, we're winning. No, you're not. No, 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 you're not. Just accept it. You're not. You know, it's just not making the money. Matt Reeves don't have Catwoman. Can't use Batgirl and Robin. About James Gunn, he uses DCU. I think use Batmite. He might as well just bring in Batman. And that rumor of Robin, there, James Gunn said that like probably over a week and a half ago. He said that no, that's not true. That's not gonna happen. But knowing James Gunn, every time he says something is always the opposite. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I got birds. That's why you hear the birds in the background and stuff like that. So yeah, like right now since I'm doing a live, you know, they're just there, just making noise since they hear me talking and stuff. They always do that. It baffles me how they saw Batman versus Deathstroke and chose another generic story about his parents. Yeah, yeah, completely. I agree with you, you know? And I get what Ben Affleck was going through at the moment. You know, he was just he was stressed out. You get what I'm saying? And he had a bunch of problems. Who doesn't? But they should just say, you know what, Ben, we're gonna give you some time. Do what you gotta do. We're gonna put your movie on hold for now. And when you're ready, we just continue. That's it. That's all they could have done. And no, the studio just said, you know what? Screw him. We're gonna do what we want. And then picture it. Nobody knew. Nobody knew that Robert Pattinson was going to be the next Batman. Nobody, because there was nothing. There was no leaks. There was nothing. So they had that shit planned out. WB had that shit planned out that they were going to replace him the same like they were going to replace Henry Cavill. The only thing is we knew about what Henry Cavill would happen and stuff like that. And this whole thing that they did, it was just planned. All this shit was just planned by WB because they just want to seriously erase everything that Zach created for them. And for that, that's why they're flopping. And I'm glad. I'm glad that WB is flopping. I'm glad that they're tanking. I'm glad that they're going down. Because it shows you, yo, without Zack Snyder, your universe is shit. Is honestly, it's shit. It ain't good, you know? And they should have just stuck with what worked. You should have just kept going with the Snyderverse. You wanted to reboot it, you could have done it, but in a better way. You know, you could have gotten away from it, but still respect the source. James Wan's Aquaman, the first one, that's his take. It's his version. That's not Zack Snyder. But yes, he was consulting Zack. And that's why that movie made $1 billion. And of course, we had just finished from Justice League. So people were hungry. You had that time frame that Marvel was just putting out movies left and right, banking and banking. And WB waited, and then they brought out Aquaman during the holiday season. So of course that's gonna help too. And of course you got all these thirsty women when they see Jason Momoa, you know, with no shirt, with tattoos. I mean, you know, they're like these women are drooling. So of course they're gonna go and watch that movie. You know, they're all like straight up like, oh, Jason. They're out there. So you know that's why that movie made money because of the thirst. But it is what it is. It made money, and you know the second one didn't make so much money as the first one. But again, it just shows you and James Gunn, he just came to straight up destroy everything. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what anybody tells me. James Gunn has been sent by Marvel and Disney. I'm not hearing no other excuse. That's it. James Gunn is sent by Marvel and Disney to just straight up sabotage WB and destroy the brand. And he's doing a fine job at it. You know, it's completely nuts. The proof is there. Pattinson didn't beat Batman versus Superman box office. Yeah, that's true. Robert Pattinson will always be Twilight Boy. Yep, I agree with you. That's exactly how I see him also, as one of those vampires. James Gunn don't care. Matt Reeves, he wants so bad. He want to do Brave and the Bold, want to get over with. Yeah, that's what I think he's trying to do. But if Matt Reeves' universe is going to finally cross over into James Gunn's DCU, James Gunn's gonna he's I'm telling you right now, he's going to make Batman the most ridiculous character in history. Look at what he done with Superman, you know? So it shouldn't be a surprise, honestly. Don't think it's Matt Reeves' fault though. Ben Affleck seemed fed up and he wanted to leave. Joss Whedon made him lose interest with the reshoots. Yeah, everybody wanted to. Joss Whedon is not an easy person to work with, from what I've heard. I get that Michael Bay is also a pain in the ass to work with, but I think Joss Whedon is even worse. Like Joss Whedon is straight up an asshole, and you don't hear it from one person. You hear it from everybody. Michael Bay, he's a prick when it comes to his production, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But he's not rude like when how Joss Whedon was. Joss Whedon was straight up an asshole. Like it was really really bad. That's again, it's just Marvel sending these clowns. And that's the problem. The DC is just picking up the sloppy seconds from Marvel. And that's what they're doing right now. Like, oh, James Gunn. Oh, they're all drooling and glazing over James Gunn. Oh, he's gonna save DC because he made Guardians of the Galaxy. No, it's proven by now. It's just not working. Period. How many more people you need to bring in from Marvel? It's like, yo, like wake up already. DC sucks. Yep, yep. I agree with you. Gavin O'Connor should be directing Ben Affleck, the Batman. They work together, and they did in the Accountant 1 and 2. Oh, nice, nice. I didn't know that, but yeah, that would be good though. That would be good. I wish Riddler had the tattoo question body and paint face, make him crazy, not like Matt Reeves. Yeah, what Matt Reeves did to Riddler, yeah, that I don't know. I just didn't like that Riddler. Honestly, he looked like a straight up gimp. I wasn't feeling that. It is his fault. He had the option to keep Affleck's script and decided to steal someone else's. Yep, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Fuck Matt Reeves, honestly. And I'll say it again. Fuck Robert Pattinson. Pattinson said he was cast in 2017. Look at that. In 2017, yo, that's when Justice League came out. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, these people knew WB were already in the shadows doing dirty work. And of course, things just got worse because they brought in Joss Whedon. They had Toby Emmerich. They had Walter Hamada. They had that little crew. And Sarnoff. It all started with, punk ass Kevin Tsuchihara. And, like, all these people, they just made everything worse than what it was and stuff. And then, of course, now you got James Gunn, the cherry on top, that's completely ruining everything and completely has destroyed everything inside of WB with DC. Everything doesn't have to be connected. Yeah, it doesn't have to be connected. I agree with you. Not everything has to be connected. Robert Pattinson over Ben Affleck. And if you like Robert Pattinson, okay, I'm just not. Not that ain't my Batman. Hell nah. I agree, Miles. All right. I don't think Zoe isn't telling the truth about her not being in the Batman 2. Only if Reeves is forced out, she'll be gone. He allows her to play on agendas that turns people off. Yeah, I think that's what it is. She's probably seen or heard of what they're probably in transition right now, and I think I'm telling y'all straight up. I think Matt Reeves in the end is gonna end up doing the crossover, and his universe is gonna be forced. Either two things, like I've been telling y'all for a while. Either you get canceled and you don't do your Batman 2, or you join the DCU. That's it. There's no in between. It's either or. And Matt Reeves is gonna be like, yo, I don't want to walk because of course his name is on the line. That money's on the line because he wants money. Of course, I mean, who's gonna say no to money? And he's gonna have to bend the knee. That's it. And if rumor is true, if dude already has bended the knee, yo, that's it. It's done. It's done for the Batman 2. And it would make sense. That's why, think of it with Clayface. I mean, that was supposed to take place in Matt Reeves' universe. So, I mean, let's be realistic. Do you really think Matt Reeves' universe can pull off Clayface? No. Clayface has to be a lot of CG. It has to be very what do you call it? Realistic. You can't pull that shit off. You can't. That's why Christopher Nolan never did those type of characters, because you can't bring those characters to the real world, and that's what Matt Reeves is trying to do. Bring, just like Christopher Nolan, these characters like to the real world. You can't bring Clayface to the real world setting. You just can't. That shit will work in James Gunn's DCU. I mean, you have a freaking kaiju running around, like spitting fire like Godzilla. That shit work for Superman. You could bring in Clayface, and that shit will work in James Gunn's universe. See what I'm saying? So, and then at the end, what I think is gonna happen is just James Gunn's just gonna end up screwing Matt Reeves, and he's gonna end up taking his Batman, and now he's gonna be part of the DCU. And yo, you might as well just relabel that to Batman Brave and the Bold. That's what I think is gonna happen. That's just me, like I don't know if that's gonna happen, but something might happen with that. Do you know James Gunn tried to Teen Titans and Wonder Woman? Yeah, he tried to do it. But I don't know if he's gonna do anything with that. James Gunn is not directing Teen Titans. Okay, yeah, he's not gonna be directing that. Probably he'll be like bringing somebody to direct it and stuff like that. It's not even greenlit. That's what the rumor was. Who knows what the hell's happening? I mean, look at what happened with Swamp Thing. Nobody knows for sure. And then The Authority. I mean, that shit got canceled. So, what a way to start off the DCU, right? James Gunn wants to do Super Pet, Crypto, and Pig One, Pig Wonder Woman, and Bat Dog for DCU. Try and make kids movies. I don't even know what to think of that. Any good 6th gen DC video games you could recommend? PS2, GameCube, Xbox, etc. Good games. I'm gonna tell you straight up. If you want to play some good DC Batman games, I'm gonna take it old school. They're hard, but they're fun. If you have a Nintendo or if you got the emulator, I mean, you get what I'm saying. Sell the 7 Cs, you'll find your way. You could play Batman '89. That game is hard as shit. Till this day, I still can't beat it. That's on the Nintendo. And then on Super Nintendo, you got Batman Returns. That game is badass. I'm telling you right now. Get that game. That's on Super Nintendo. Sega, Batman Returns, The Adventures of Batman and Robin. You have them both for Super Nintendo and Sega. Both of them are good. They're different, but I like more the Sega. It's more fun. The one for Super is a little bit more complicated. It's more, I don't know, is this more complicated? Then of course you have what else for PS1? I think you got. I would say Batman Begins. That one's a good game. I think it's PS1 or PS2, so you might want to check that one out. There's also Batman. I think it's Batman and Robin. Don't play Batman Forever on Super Nintendo or Sega. If you want to get mad and you want to break your console, play that game. That game will trigger your nerves to the fullest. That game, fuck that game. I'm telling you right now. Like they made that shitty game. I don't even know why it was made. But if you want to play a what is it, Batman and Robin, then play it for. I think it's for. I don't remember Sega CD or PlayStation. I don't know. It's one of those. But that's a good game too. And what else? What else? That I can remember from the top of my head, those are pretty much the only ones. I know there's probably more, but I know on the 64 is Batman. What is it? Batman Beyond. I never played it, but if you want to check that out, you can. I would see videos before you actually play it to see if they're even your type. Like those are side scrollers, but Batman Begins is like an open world, not too open, but you can move around and stuff instead of just left and right. Shark Attack. What year are you from? Oh, okay, that's y'all. Cool. I didn't know they had time machines back then. All right. Guardians of the Galaxy only made money because Marvel hype back then, and because of James, not because of James Gunn. Yeah, exactly, because they had Marvel backing them up. So of course, Disney's gonna be like, "Yo, we're trying to make our money." You're gonna have like straight up the mouse, like, "Haha, we gotta make our money." So of course they're gonna be promoting that shit left and right. So everywhere you saw it from your toothbrush to probably the toilet paper you wipe your ass with. Like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like straight up the marketing was hard with that movie. I give it to them. Disney has that money, and then of course you have the theme park Disney, so they can promote their stuff and all that crap. So they're good at that when it comes to it. Um, Light skin, what's up? Appreciate you for watching. Also, oh no, I'm on the retro game kick right now. CS said he got a 6.4. Hell yeah, I got a 6.4. And play around with it. I got the old school emulator with the original Nintendo. I don't play around. Hell yeah. Let's see. James Gunn think what? He thinks Juan Barry as Joker, not get whole actor again. See again Joker. Yeah. That Barry as Joker. I don't even know how you pronounce his last name. Keoghan, whatever the hell his name. That dude straight up. I didn't like that Joker from Matt Reeves' universe. Again, fuck that Joker. Fuck Matt Reeves and fuck that universe. I say it because that's how I feel. That Joker looked like he straight up got herpes, like he has some type of STD. I was like, nah, that ain't my Joker. I was like, that's a straight up knockoff Joker. I was like, nah, just not interested. Emo Boy Batman. Nah, Ben Affleck. Hell yeah, Ben Affleck. That's the best one. Did you see that they have a rainbow Batman, the Lego Batman? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're pushing that agenda. That's what it is. Ben Affleck was never he never had a movie. Come on, guys. Exactly, he never had a movie. He was supposed to have a movie, but Matt Reeves, he straight up said screw that, and he ended up doing what we have right now with Robert Pattinson because he literally stole the idea and stuff like that. He could have done it with Ben Affleck. He chose not to. The news about Pattinson 2 is only conventionally coming back when Cornball Sweat is flopping. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing. They're just trying to cover up so people don't pay attention to the flop. but we already know what's up. Like real fans know what's up. I think James Gunn was fired for Zoe Kravitz Catwoman, or maybe nah. James Gunn isn't fired yet. He'll be out soon, especially once his contract is over. Whatever that means. I said Ben Affleck, Batman's better. Period. Go talk to the wall. All right, let's see. Emo Batman is lame and boring. Yeah, a lot of people, they just don't feel this Batman. Honestly, I'm one of them. I wish I could. I gave it two chances. I saw it the first time. I wasn't impressed, and on the second one, and every time I try to rewatch it, I just keep falling asleep. I'm like, this shit is boring. Like it's that boring. That's what I'm saying. If they bring it into the DCU, I guess they can do more with it with that character in that universe. Yo, just throw him in there. Just make it all comedy at this point. I mean, that's what James Gunn's universe is all about. So you might as well do it. You can't make Batman R-rated, especially James Gunn. We know he's not gonna do that. It won't be like Peacemaker. So that's what I'm saying. Just go ahead, just throw him in there and just go with it. See what happens. If he bent the knee long ago, he betrayed himself when he kicked up a storm saying he didn't want to be part of the universe. Yeah, yeah, that was a while ago. That like I said, he could have made Ben Affleck's movie, but he just chose not to, and he decided to do his thing. It's like Andy Muschietti didn't do Clayface. Producers from Matt Reeves do. Okay. Super Pets movie wasn't DCU. No, it wasn't DCU, and it was nothing like that. But I guess with the tone and the style of it, you might as well categorize it in that James Gunn style. Miles, he was supposed to be part of the Reavers. He was taken. Hack Reeves is stuck with a a shittier universe. Yep, yep, exactly. What do you think the Pattinson and Corn Sweat chemistry will be like? Horrible, mid, good. Probably it's probably gonna be mid, just because I mean Robert Pattinson is a boring actor as it is on his own. He doesn't convince me as an actor, honestly. If I was in the industry, I would never cast him just because he doesn't convince me as an actor. Nothing against him. It's just his acting doesn't convince me. You get what I'm saying? Like if it was maybe for like one of those pretty boy type of roles, then maybe. But for a main role, nah, he just doesn't have it, honestly. But I think him and Corn Sweat will probably be how we've been seeing with that meme, where you see Batman and Superman that they're at a coffee shop, they're drinking coffee, and you see Batman serious because I mean that's who he is, and Superman's just smiling, he's cheerful and stuff like that. I think that's the type of chemistry that they would both have, and it would bring that, if you want to say quote unquote cartoon comic type accuracy to life. That's what I think would happen. So it would be mid. Some people would like it, some people will not. I wouldn't even. I will be like, nah, hell no. I just don't care about it, honestly. So let's see. Oh, superhero games are underrated. Everyone acts like they started when Arkham Asylum came out. Yeah, exactly. Like don't get me wrong, the new games are beautiful. They're lovely. They are fun. But nothing beats old school. Like where it started and stuff. Sometimes simple stuff is just a lot better than what they have right now. And then the new stuff, like all these games, they get so confusing. Like you have to press like three buttons. Your hands are they're all handicapped and like you're straight up like crippling and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, yo, what the hell? I had to do all this shit just to throw that one weapon. Like, come on, man. It's like, yo, make it simple. Just don't make it complicated. And they just completely complicate everything. The Gungoons want Cornball Sweat and Pattinson to be like SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah, straight goofy. James Gunn is so rude. Person can hard self DCU. Yeah, what I'm seeing. Clayface was greenlit for DCU. It was originally meant for Reeves. Read the trades. Yeah, originally it was supposed to be for Matt Reeves, but then things, of course, James Gunn's just screwing things up. So that's what's happening. If Super Family is a sequel, so is Batman versus Superman. Yeah, exactly. If they can do that and get away with it, then the same thing could happen. I think Matt Reeves tried to get Hush or Mr. Freeze, but who cares about now? Yeah, supposedly they're saying that Hush is not going to be in the Batman 2. A lot of people are saying that the Court of Owls hopefully takes place. Again, who knows what the hell's going to happen. It would be nice to see Mr. Freeze, but again, I highly doubt it. And again, to see Mr. Freeze in Matt Reeves' universe, how do you pull that off? Honestly, how do you pull it off? There's so much that you can do. Again, that would fit more in the DCU with James Gunn, just because you could go all out, and hell, what they did with Batman and Robin, with Arnold as Mr. Freeze, they pulled it off well. That was done real, real good. But we know that that movie was cheesy, so that Mr. Freeze fits that universe. But now you have something gloomy, depressing, like, Matt Reeves' universe with Robert Pattinson. Everything's so serious, everything's so realistic. How do you bring that character? Like, is he gonna be walking around with a big instead of a flamethrower, it's just gonna be like an ice pack type of thing? I mean, there's so much you can do to pull that off. It's just, it wouldn't be believable in that universe, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, STD Joker. Yeah, man, that's how I see him. Like, dude has straight up STDs. Like, he has some serious STDs with his face and stuff. Yo, could we ever do a collab? And what are you interested in talking about? Yeah, that would be dope. Send me an email. I would say just shoot me an email and we could talk it over and stuff, more details and things. But yeah, man, just again, see as a director at gmail.com. Hit me up right there, and we could link up and plan something. We can talk about whatever, as long as it's entertaining and stuff. Like, I don't talk about like real stuff and like politics and none of that bullshit. Do you have a Spider-Man PS1? Spider-Man on PS1? Nah, I don't. The only one I have is I think it's Miles Morales, the one from on PS5. Damn, I forgot which one's that one. Yeah, I had the Amazing Spider-Man. I regret trading that in years ago at GameStop, and now that game's so damn expensive. But maybe I'll get it again later on. So I don't know. Was Tom what? Tom awaits the inspiration beyond the Joker. Who knows? Who knows what inspiration was behind that one and stuff like that. That Joker looked like he had herpes. Yeah. Do you guys really want Aquaman 3? Hell yeah. Wonder Woman 2? Hell yeah. The DCU was going nowhere. Wrong. The DCEU was going somewhere. The DCU is not going nowhere. So, that's exactly what's the things were making sense and they were connecting when and after Zack Snyder in the DCEU. With James Gunn, everything has just been screwed up since the beginning of the Suicide Squad. And the Suicide Squad was like intentional, to like destroy everything that Zack Snyder had created. That's how I see it. James Gunn say he's working on super sequel. What should he call it? Super Flop Returns, Super Shit 2, Man of Steel. I would say he should just call it Super Shit 2. Honestly, like, that's what he should go with. Just like the DCU ain't going nowhere. Yep, it's not. Straight up, the DCU ain't going nowhere. Straight up. It started off bad and it's going to end up fast. James going to want to get Diaper Robin, Brave and Bold. Y'all want Blue Beetle too? Hell nah. Nah, hell nah. Blue Beetle is not even part of the Snyderverse. That's just straight up like the Hamadaverse and James Gunn mainly. Because James Gunn was the one that wanted to bring that shit in. And look how bad that tanked. But yeah, that's going to get an animated show soon. That piece of crap, honestly. James Gunn is gonna make Batman and Superman. Probably. He's gonna probably make them both, honestly. Mysterious Bro. It was a disgusting looking. Oh, okay. You haven't seen many of his movies. Alright, so y'all talking, y'all talking. I want Superman game. I'm sick about games that's just me. Yeah, a lot of people want Superman games. Who knows what the hell the studio's doing? It's supposed to be they're going back to make games, but I don't know. They don't got money for that right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm tired of Batman games too. They're fun, but it's always the same thing. Especially these new games, it's always the same thing. Get on the car, fly, go to the, whatever the mission is. You do it, you get points, and it's repeat the same thing. Like, that's why I like old school gaming, just because it was a little bit more fun and more entertaining. The new ones are nice because of the graphics and stuff like that, but let's see what they do. Has Gun dropped the whole even the video games are connected stuff? I doubt that'll happen. Loki, I probably just make the games worse. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't said anything about that. Remember that he did say that the games were gonna be connected and stuff like that. We haven't heard anything, and especially after the flop of Suicide Squad, uh, K the Justice League, that game tank. It's so bad that I think it's right now like on the PlayStation Store for like less than $3. So that tells you everything. But this is what they wanted. This is what they're getting. So it is what it is. Peacemaker season 2 come out tomorrow. Oh, that crap's coming out tomorrow. I don't care about it, honestly. I'm not watching that. Let's see. MCU synergy. Heard a lot of Marvel properties. Can you imagine Cornball Sweat voicing him in the games? That would be embarrassing. Yeah, that would be embarrassing, honestly. I mean, he did do the voice for that Boravia, whatever that character is, the one in the movie, and he did the voice from that, and he played 3 roles. This is how greedy and selfish James Gunn is. He casted David Cornsweet to do Superman. He did the voice of Boravia, whatever the hell that character is, the Marvel looking character, the Iron Man wannabe, and then he's also playing Ultraman. So he's playing three different roles. Like, come on, so he get three times the pay. Of course, James Gunn's doing that. I mean, sloppy James Gunn. That's what he does. Um, what fart? Stinky James Gunn. Yeah. I will never get some of those PS3 Spider-Man games. Shits cost more than the consoles now. Yeah, it's crazy because people straight up want those things. You know, it's nuts. I found one the other day in GameStop, but it didn't have no book. It didn't have no case. I was like, yeah, I don't want that crap. I kind of want it just because of that, but I'm like, I don't just want the disc. I want the actual everything with it. But it's hard to find those things now. Batman Superman's World's Finest, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. Hell yeah, that would be dope. That to me is what we got when Zach gave us that. Zack Snyder's Justice League puts DCU back in the right direction. WB responded with garbage nobody wanted, like the Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, and Shazam. Yeah, we didn't want none of that trash. And it's crazy how you know what's crazy now that you're saying that. I was looking at something. Oh, I was looking at the box cover from the not the trilogy, the 7 disc box set of the DCEU, and I started noticing something. I was like, "Yo, hold on! They have Aquaman, they have Wonder Woman, and they have Shazam, and they're all from the DCEU." And I'm like, "Yo, they all had 2 movies. Shazam had 2 movies. Aquaman had 2 movies. Wonder Woman had 2 movies, and Ben Affleck never got a movie. Henry Cavill Superman only got 1 movie. Cyborg never got a movie. And the Flash, he got a movie. So I'm like, yo, like straight up WB, you dropped the ball so bad. Like completely. No wonder they're losing money. Um let's see. Henry Cavill enjoying life. Not watch James Gunn movie. Who will be the main character in your comic book? Will he be a ninja? The main character in my story that I'm working on. I'm still working on the name. That's why I haven't really like revealed it yet because I'm still working on the name, coming up with a good name. Nothing crazy, but just coming up with something. Is he gonna be a ninja? He's gonna be something like a ninja, not 100%, but he is going to have skills like fighting and techniques and things like that. So, and along with that, he will have gadgets and vehicles and things to move around. So, in case you're wondering, yeah, that's what I'm gonna be adding to it and stuff like that. Super shit. The quest for fresh tomatoes. Oh man, honestly, Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman of all time. Number one, actually, favorite Batman. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I grew up watching Michael Keaton, but once Ben Affleck came out, I was like, yeah, Michael Keaton. I'm sorry, but you're number two now, because Ben Affleck took the crown. Those are my two favorite, honestly. I like also what we got with Val Kilmer. He's very underrated. Val Kilmer is much better Batman than Robert Pattinson. I'm just telling you how I feel, honestly. James Gunn's running out of ideas. He's trying to bring back the actors from the DCEU. Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't get. It's supposed to be a reboot. Like, dude, just recast everybody. If you're gonna do a reset, just do a hard reset. You're not just gonna go, oh, let me just select what I'm gonna reset. No, when you reset something, everything in that bitch is getting resetted, and that's what he should have done. He should have resetted everything with the cast, the actors, the actresses, everything. Reset everything, and we wouldn't be in this situation. But since James Gunn is picking and choosing, we're also going to pick and choose and give you the facts and tell you how it is. But he just doesn't want to hear it, and they know what's up. James Gunn's running out of ideas. Yep. Keaton and Affleck. Um, let's see. Man of Steel is the only movie talked about, though. Yeah, it's crazy because people like it. It's entertaining. So, do you remember when Walter Hamada said David Cornsett was his Superman 5 or 6 years ago? The new DCU is really the Hamadaverse 2.0. Yeah, but at least with the Hamadaverse, like I get that he wanted to replace Henry Cavill, but at least he tried, and I give him credit. I'm gonna be honest. At least I give Walter Hamada some credit that he kept Henry Cavill, and let's not forget, even though Black Adam is part of the Hamadaverse, and that's already entering, because we could see how after that movie, that's when we started seeing James Gunn coming into full effect, and things just went downhill. But we were supposed to get Henry Cavill back, so at least he kept the same Superman, and there was no recasting, there was nothing. And for that, I give Walter Hamada some credit. It was probably the higher executives that were like, especially Toby Emmerich, that asshole, that was like probably putting pressure on him and saying, you know what, now we have to just erase everything from the Snyderverse, and I think that's what it is. It was thanks to that asshole Toby Emmerich. That he completely ruined everything. I know there's another one too. I just can't remember his name. The other one too that he was giving Zack Snyder a hard time. Retail experience Walmart has just been awfully recently. I feel like I'm finding less and less cool stuff. Yeah, it's hard to find stuff right now, as collectors and things like that. When it comes to anything physical media or just things for the collections and stuff. Let's see. I don't know what happened to the Cyber movie. DCEU was got canceled. Yeah, they were gonna do it, but that whole drama with Joss Whedon that he completely disrespected Ray Fisher, he just decided to walk out. So it is what it is. It's showbiz. How would you feel about Christopher McQuarrie directing Man of Steel 2 script? Do it. I mean, why not? Like anybody besides James Gunn, I think is good at this point. Man of Steel's talked more than any other Superman movie. Tell me that I'm telling lies. Yeah, everybody's still talking about it. 12 years later, and it's gonna be 24 years later down the road, and we're still gonna be talking about Zack Snyder's Superman, and nobody's gonna be talking about James Gunn's Superman. And when they talk about James Gunn's Superman, it's just gonna be straight up a parody. It's just gonna be a joke. Andy Muschietti might mess up Batman again. Yep, that's what he does also. The Gun Goons think everything from the old DCU was Snyderverse. Yeah, exactly. They don't know what's the difference and stuff. They just know how to classify what they see, but they don't really know what the business is. Rank Keaton, Affleck, Bale, and Pattinson. For me now, Affleck number one, Keaton number two, Bale number three, and Pattinson number four. Hell, Pattinson will be all the way at the bottom because I'll put George Clooney and Val Kilmer before Robert Pattinson, and that tells you a lot. You got any love for DC animated, Timverse, Justice League, Unlimited, Batman, Superman, etc.? I've seen some, not a lot, but there's some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. DC is very good when it comes to their animation department. They do really, really good stuff with that. They're beating Marvel. Like they've always been that in the gaming side. They've always had Marvel, like below them and stuff like that. Let's see. All right, all right. All right, which is better, Timverse or Snyderverse? Damn, I like both of them. Damn, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? The best way I could answer that is 50-50 because I love both universes. I love what Tim Burton gave us, and I love what Zack Snyder gave us. So that one right there would be hard to actually tell you, hey, one is better than the other. I say it's a tie for me because they're to me they meet up halfway, and I'll be bullshitting you if I tell you that one is better than the other. Nah, they're both on that level where I can say, you know what, it's a tie for me. For me, it's like yo, I can't pick because they're both amazing. Warner Brothers must be embarrassed right now, and James Gunn might be crying right now because Super Trash flop. Yeah, James Gunn probably James Gunn. You imagine James Gunn after a long day, after work, and dude's just there sitting, just chilling. Probably who knows what he's doing, just there relaxing. His wife comes up to him, hey, what's going on? And he's just like, nah, nothing. Oh, what's going on? Tell me. And all of a sudden, this dude just starts venting, and he's like, these Snyder fans. I can't. I just can't with them. That my Superman flopped. It tanked. Like fuck you, James Gunn, straight up. Like that's what you get, And his wife inside, probably deep inside, is like, yeah, your movie sucked. Honestly, I'm just doing it. I'm with you just because of the money and stuff like that. Like, come on, let's be real, yo. Like, let's be real. You imagine that? That shit would be hilarious, yo. That oh man, that would be damn, that would be messed up. Walter Amato was angry at The Rock because he didn't want Cavill to return as Superman until Kingdom Come. That was his plan. Yeah, again, a lot of creative differences, and that happens and stuff. But that happens when you have a big team in the sense of you have too many people giving, like what to say, but in the end, you don't have one solid person in charge of the ship. That's why the ship steers everywhere, and it becomes the mess that it is. Anyone can play Cyborg. The actor can be replaced just like Jason Momoa. Yeah, that's true. But Ray Fisher, he did a good job at it, for that character and stuff. I was never into Ben 10, but kind of miss seeing those toys in the toy section. I thought they were creative and cool, even if they weren't for me. Yeah, I know there's a fan base out there for Ben 10. I've never been into it, but to the ones that like it, yo, more power to you. Matt Reeves might leave to do Planet of the Apes. He might as well. And Cloverfield might as well, too. Not do Batman for good. Yeah, he might as well do that. He should just stick to what he's good at. The Planet of the Apes, not my type of movie, but for what he does good work in that. James Gunn might get canceled. Joker and Harley DCU cannot work. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, honestly. Yeah, they are both great. Was it Would y'all go to the movies to watch Black Adam 2? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm telling you right now, we would all go out to see Black Adam 2. All right, go. I appreciate you for watching, Nate. All right, I know a little bit backed up on the comments. I'm trying to catch up with y'all. The Batman 2 has apparently been put on back to start in spring 2026. I wonder if Gunn is delaying his move because deep down his heart is not in it. Yeah, it could be. He could be. Uh, Ben 10. I'm not sure about that honestly. Let's see. Matt Reeves is Nolan Jr. Yeah, but would answer the question. Yes, I would. Yeah, that's crazy. Like straight up, it's interesting to see how all these movies are being made and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like Black Adam. I've already said that plenty of times. Straight up, Miles. Like all the time, I make videos about that. Like, what part are you not paying attention to? Like, you want to come here and troll? Um, all right, like straight up, like just hold on. Just so you know what's up, Miles, I got you. I'm putting you on a timeout, clown. Put you on a 30-minute timeout. Cause you've been trolling for a minute, so told y'all, play around and find out. Gun fans be acting like his DC movies are better adaptation of Tim versus DC style. I tried hearing what? I tried hear people fan cast Batman DCU like Alan Jensen, but can't happen. Alan can look like shrug face. What? Gun lover kicked rocks. Yeah, got him out of here. I'm telling you, I'm not playing around with that. Green Lantern would have been fire in Justice League. Yeah, it was supposed to be Ryan Reynolds because Zach had said that, and then Ryan Reynolds went to a Comic Con in Brazil, and he had mocked it, but he was going to come back to reprise the role because it was supposed to like build up and connect and stuff like that. But stupid ass WB again screwing things up. Just visually, it would have looked cool in the Snyderverse. Yeah, look at what he did with John Stewart, and that's with a freaking phone and in the backyard. And look at what Zack Snyder cooked. That's why these James Gunn cultists can't accept. They can't accept quality. James Gunn just puts out slop. And that one's for you, Miles. James Gunn puts out slop like that, straight up. You guys ever gotten like, like at a food place? Let's say you're at a barbecue or a cookout, whatever, and when they're serving the food and the food is running out, or you're probably like at the bottom of the barrel, and all that slop that's at the bottom, that's James Gunn. That's what he's serving to his audience. That right there, the bottom of the barrel, that's what James Gunn puts out in all his movies. Slop. It's all slop, straight up. That's exclusive for you, Miles, since you want to go ahead and keep talking and running your mouth. Freaking bozo. Dwayne. Oh, I'm telling you. I already told y'all. Keep playing around. Keep blocking clowns. Yeah, man. That's all it is. Yeah, yeah. That's what these trolls like to do. They just forget I could be a troll myself too. James Gunn might be drinking in a bar right now. You imagine that? James Gunn puts out crap. Yeah, straight up crap slop. That like when you got a clogged up toilet. You got to bring in the plumber, and you see that plumber struggling until that thing is the pipe is unclogged. That's James Gunn right there. He's trying to unclog the pipe, and he can't. He's like, damn, what do I do? Damn, do we do this? And he calls Peter Safran. Yo, come on, help me with this. Nah, we can't. We can't run the line. Nah, put the line. Call the plumber. Nah, do this. That's them. That's them. Then they call this dumbass David Zaslav. Yo, help us. Come on. They're all covered in turd and stuff. Straight up a mess. That's exactly how they are and stuff like that. Yeah, let's see. Miles versus Diaz, yo. Yo, Miles wanted to play around. He found out. That's it. He's straight up on timeout right now. Be happy I ain't block you yet. But keep it up, and I will. While it's closed, we want Snyderverse back. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. It's like I don't get these James Gunn fanatics. They come here and cry and complain, and yo, you don't see me going to like other people's channels and be like, "Yo, restore the Snyderverse," because I already know what they're gonna tell. They're gonna say at me. You get what I'm saying? But every time I say, "Yo, restore the Snyderverse," it's a problem. It's always a problem. It's like I don't get it. I really don't get it. We see what gun goons look like on camera and in Comic Con. They're all antisocial rejects. Yeah, exactly. We've seen what they look like and stuff like that. So, they're all part of the alphabet and their agenda that they love to push and promote. But we're not down with that. Superman flopped at theaters and digital. Yep, it's a mess. It's completely a disaster. I wish have Deathstroke, Riddler, Catwoman should have been in Ben Affleck's movie. Yep, it would have been dope. Whether they put all the stops for the marketing with Guardians, animated show, 2 video games, etc. Most of the Marvel franchises never got all that. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what the hell happened? It was probably costing them a lot, and who knows what the hell happened. Miles is probably crying in his room. Miles is probably right now, yo, I can hear you, but I can't type. You damn right you ain't typing. I got you, you ain't typing. Wanted to play around, you found out. I heard a rumor Paramount wants to buy Warner Brothers. Is that true? That's a rumor. We don't know. But I don't think so. I'll tell you why. Just because one, that merger they did with Skydance right now is a lot of money. That's $8 billion, right? For them, that's good. What does that mean? A few things. Apparently, there's a rumor they want to put out 20 movies a year, not just Transformers. Transformers is one of their IPs. They want to do GI Joe. They want to do, damn, I can't remember what else they have. But whatever they have, they want to put out with those IPs that's making them money because they know that those IPs are going to sell. Now, let's be realistic. You think if a company or studio wants to put out 20 movies in a year, that they'll be able to keep up with DC? Hell no. Hell no. The hell no. I'm telling you straight up like that old man used to do on that videos. Oh hell no. Impossible. Impossible. You know why? Because it's so hard to do one movie. And if you're trying to deliver quality, that's impossible. And I'm telling you right now, like Paramount is shooting way too high to try to make that happen. That's not gonna happen. That's just way too high for them to actually even keep up with. Just to make one movie could take 2 years if you really want to put out something good. And if they're gonna be doing more, Transformers movies, that alone is going to be like about a 2 year project. And if they're gonna do GI Joe, that's another 2 years. So you're gonna tell me 2 years per movie, and you try and drop that every year? Impossible. Impossible. They might buy some assets from WB, shows that people don't care about, that they don't watch, probably like things that were like on NBC, probably on CW, things like that they can buy. Little stuff that they can just put it on certain like networks and bring in some money just because people want to buy. I mean, want to watch it, like Tubi and like all these third party companies and stuff, Amazon or whatever. They can do stuff like that just to make some extra cash off of it. But if they want to go all out, nah, impossible. That's way too much. Is James Gunn fans real or bot just curious? Nah, they're out there, but they're just trolls, honestly. Uh, Miles got smoked like a blunt. Matt Reeves try to be nice, but can't do Batman 2. That's James Gunn want to do. Matt Reeves try to be nice. Okay, same thing. Scott should be casted as Deathstroke. For James Gunn, man, you know what? I want to see Joe honestly come back as Deathstroke. That honestly would be dope. Really. That's right, bro. You should give them timeout. They want to act babies, treated like them. Yeah, give them timeout. Yeah, exactly. That's why I put them on timeout. No hard feelings against you, Miles. I know you're watching. I just got you on timeout, but you act up. You want to come and troll. You're gonna get treated like a troll. That's it. We can all talk and we can all disagree, but it's a way of how you say things. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I saw several comments of yours. I could have blocked you, but I'm just chilling. I'm like, you know what? I'll just put you on timeout. Next time, when you're on the chat and stuff like that, just you can say your opinion. Nothing wrong with that, but you have to respect others. Because if others are respecting you, we all got to show each other respect. Like I'm not here for like clowning around and stuff. Honestly, in all reality, is James Gunn the industry plant of directors? Oh nah, he's not on the industry plant. Nah, the top 30 directors came out the list, and James Gunn is not on it. We have Zack Snyder and we have Michael Bay on it. Michael Bay's like the third one. Zack Snyder's the 29th out of the 30. So that shows you that's how top they are in this industry that make money. And James Gunn, zero. He's nowhere on that top 30 chart. That's what it tells you. James Gunn is slop. He serves slop, and he's always going to be sloppy. That's it. That's who he is. That's exactly who he is. James Gunn should just stick to comedy. Period. He should just make a comedy movie. Michael Bay's the GOAT. He's back. Hell yeah. I can't wait to see more of his stuff. Ram Warrior, what's up? What's up? Hell yeah. Michael Bay returns. You already know it. Sergeant, what's up? And it turns out that Gunn's movie cost $458 million. Wow. Wow. So they pray that they didn't make money then. That's nuts. That's nuts. No wonder WB was so desperate saying, yo, as long as we make 500 million. Yeah, you're just trying to recuperate the loss that you just took. They didn't make profit. That's what it is. So if you have 200, I mean, if you have 458 million, split that in half. That's what they had to split, 50 for them and 50 for the studio. I mean, 50 for the theaters. That's crazy. They lost a lot of money. They lost a lot of money, man. That's nuts. James Gunn was talking about Clayface, try crossover, Brave and the Bold, but can't happen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all creative differences and stuff. They're all going at it over there at the studio and things like that. What do you think about what Mick Minas said? He said that he spoke to Hollywood Insider and said Zaslav is open to bringing Zach back. Yeah, that's all. That was the plan from the beginning before James Gunn came on board. Because at the time I spoke about it in my old videos, you'll see it that Zaslav wanted to make Zack Snyder a Plan B, and I know Aaron Fisher spoke about that also at the time when it came out. We spoke about it, and the plan was that if James Gunn didn't deliver with Superman, and clearly it's proven now that he's not delivering, but of course he has to continue his contract from here to November because he's still in the contract. The plan B is to restore the Snyderverse. And seeing now that Zack Snyder is back to do that movie, The Last Photograph, you know that's that new movie that he's working with, that LAPD movie that we were hearing about. That's what he's putting out. That's the title of his next movie, and Hans Zimmer is gonna be on it. You already know that that's gonna be fire, you know, because that's quality. WB can't afford Hans Zimmer anymore. They can't. They can't afford him, and they've lost so much money. That's what I'm telling you. The money that James Gunn has been robbing from WB is insane. It's insane. He's just straight up robbed WB. That's all. You know, like it's a crime, honestly. Um, but yeah, that's the plan B that they wanted to do. And we already know Zach is going to come back for the 300 prequel. So things could be aligning there, you know, probably in the next, who knows, maybe 2 years, maybe tops 3 years. Who knows what's going to happen. But hopefully soon. Again, anything can happen, you know, and especially once James Gunn's contract. But I'm going to tell you straight up, you don't even have to look at it that far. Because like I've been telling y'all, don't sleep on Comcast. Let's say James Gunn has his contract from here until whatever the hell is going to be of November next year. Okay, if Comcast wants to restore Snyderverse exclusive on HBO Max, do it. They can do it. They have the money. Nobody can tell them nothing. WB can't tell them shit. They can be like, yo, we got the money. We are doing it. You know, like, that's it. They can do it. So anything can come from this, honestly. At this point, anything can come from it, and it's gonna be nice. It's just gonna be nice, honestly. WB must be regarding to play around with the fans. Must be regretting to play around with the fans. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Live action Superman movie for Brainiac and Metallo to appear in it. Yeah, that would be dope. That with Brainiac. Tobias, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you, mate, for watching. Um, so yeah, I mean that's pretty wild with how everything is right now and stuff like that. But things could change. You know, things could change. This is why, like I said, with that rumor that I was talking about, don't sleep. Don't sleep and don't ignore Comcast. Comcast has the money. Comcast doesn't have the financial debt like WB. And if Comcast ends up acquiring HBO Max for whatever reason, and they want to do, keyword is alternative, meaning something else besides what's going on, alternative DC content exclusive for HBO Max, you better believe that that's the Snyderverse, and you better believe that that's the air cut getting released. I'm telling you, it's all gonna be there. I have a feeling that's the route they're gonna take, and I think that's what's gonna end up happening. WB could be sold off. Who cares at this point? All I care about at WB is their DC IP. That's it. I don't care about any other IP that they have. You could sell it, you could lease it. I don't give a damn what y'all want to do with it. But when it comes to DC, with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, these characters, if those characters end up being owned by Comcast, the same company that owns Universal, that owns, I think it's NBC, they own a bunch of things. They own Telemundo, the Spanish news network. There's a lot of things that they have, and they got money, and they don't have the debt like WB. What makes you think that they're not going to restore the Snyderverse? And that's what the James Gunn fans fear. They know that that shit's coming. They know that it's going to happen, you know? And Comcast will be like, you know what? We own this now. You know, like, screw you, WB. You have no authority over us. We have authority over you now. Because if they end up buying HBO Max, which I think it's going to happen, guess what's going to come from there? Not only the Snyderverse, not only the air cut. Think about all the movies that they would put on HBO Max from Universal. You have Jurassic World. You could do streaming services. I mean, shows for Jurassic World, Jurassic Park on HBO Max. Yo, I'm giving you ideas. You could do so much content. The Fast and the Furious movies, and then on HBO Max, you could do spin-offs. You could do a lot, and you could make money just, if not more, than Netflix. And that right there will give you more for your money because now you're gonna enter the streaming war. Meaning, think about it. WB hasn't been doing anything with their streaming service, and they have what like 5 years now, HBO Max, and they haven't really been doing anything. What they had, the House of Cards, the Dragon, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and probably something else that I can't remember. That movie with Zendaya or whatever. That was bringing in views of The Last of Us. So content like that, they could do so much, and they could make so much money just with streaming. See what I'm saying? So the possibilities are endless. And Comcast would be like, yo, we could do whatever the hell we want because we own this now. And WB is not in a situation where they could say, well, you can't say this and you can't say that, especially if Comcast ends up buying just that part of their company. Sell everything off, I don't care. But the DC IP, that's the one I think they're after. And I think that's what they want to put on their streaming service. And I think that's where things are going to change once it goes on the streaming service. That's what I think. That's just me, speculating. Sad for all those jobs in Georgia, though. Yeah, it sucks, like with the people in the industry and stuff. What was your favorite character in the original Jurassic Park besides Dr. Alan Grant? I want to say Robert Muldoon, the one that got attacked by a raptor in the first one. He was a badass. I would love to see a spin-off series on him. I would be good with a 5-part spin-off 1 hour show of just that one character. That's what I'm telling you. Look, I'm not gonna give ideas to them, but there's so many things that I could think of. Yo, like they can just capitalize, make money, keep the fans happy, and still keep on putting out good work. But it's just let them do what they want to do, I guess. So we'll see what happens. Saw an article on how Sony is low key winning the streaming war by just leasing out their content instead of spending on those expensive platforms. Yeah, exactly. That's how they make money because they could lease the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire to Netflix, like we've seen, and you could see sometimes the Michael Bay movies, and that's from Paramount. You'll see them on Tubi, and it's all money. It's all money. It's just a license, and they can have it for a short time. We saw that they were on Amazon, and it's good because people are still watching. That's the whole point, that people watches them and stuff like that. And of course, they make their money with the ads. That's how their big revenue comes in because you have all these advertisers. You're watching a show and you got like freaking like 3 long ass commercials, and you're like, what the hell? I'm watching regular TV. It's come to that. Even YouTube is doing that. And it's crazy. Because that's where they're making their money and stuff like that. I still think Netflix might end up being a decent place for WB. Could lease the DC IP too. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, but it just wouldn't make sense business wise because why would you, as a streaming service, want to give your competitor the lead in saying, "Yo, make this content when we can make it ourselves"? Like it just doesn't make sense. That's like saying, like for example, like you're a burger shop and you have the secret formula to your burger. Are you going to give that to your competitor just so your competitor is going to pay you, but they're going to make more because they're going to keep on putting it out with your secret ingredient? Nah, it wouldn't make sense, right? You're going to want to keep it in-house, and you're going to try to cash in the most that you can. That's exactly the same thing with the streaming service. Like, why would you do that? It's just too much money you're losing. We do want to revive Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill and Sasha Kaye as the cousins of Steel fighting Brainiac in live action and played comic accurate, but we must prevent Man of Steel from being undone as well. Yeah, exactly. We need that for sure. Yeah, I get it. Netflix over HBO Max. I agree with you with that. But, in the end, it's about money. And whoever has the money is the one that's going to end up taking it. So when it comes down to it, Netflix doesn't have the type of money that that Comcast has. And when it comes to streaming, yeah, I prefer Netflix more than HBO Max. But in the long run, Comcast, if they want, they can buy out Netflix. That's how much money they have. Netflix is just a streaming service. Comcast, they own a bunch of things. Like it's wild. Look into it and you'll see. Robert Muldoon was my second favorite character. Great actor, clever girl. Yeah, every time I see that, it's like, damn, yo, that character was good. It sucks that his character died in the story and stuff. Don't get me wrong, Dennis Nedry is another one too. I like him. A lot of people don't like him, but I feel that they could have done a lot with that character. You know, like a spin-off, a what if type of thing. You know, that's just me. I think Wonder Woman DCU can happen. Be like Wonder Woman 1984 comedy. James Gunn. Yeah, that's what probably James Gunn would do. Dark Man. Doesn't ring a bell. I would have to see it, but I'm not familiar with Dark Man, honestly. Everything that was planned for Man of Steel before WB demanded a shared universe regarding Brainiac as in live action needs to be done. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, James Gunn's DCU, the chum bucket to Snyder's Krusty Krab. pretty much, pretty much at this point, honestly. Darkman was quality film. I prefer Batfleck movie, Man of Steel, Justice League 2 and 3. The average Gungoon looks like Dennis Nedry. Yo, man, freaking Dennis Nedry, man. They did him dirty, man. Liam Neeson was Dark Man, directed by Sam Raimi. Oh, okay, nice. I didn't know. Let me ask y'all this question, though. Am I the only one that thinks the following? In Joss Whedon's Justice League, doesn't Stephen Wolf look exactly like Liam Neeson? That's the vibe that I get. I'm like every time I see that Stephen Wolf, I can't take it serious, and I crack up. I'm like, what's Liam Neeson doing there as freaking Stephen Wolf? That's just me. That's just me. Does anybody else see that too? Oh yeah, man, that's crazy. Have y'all noticed that? Like straight up, go look at it. Go look at the image and look at Stephen Wolf from Justice League. He straight up looks like Liam Neeson. I'm like, yo, what the hell? They casted him for that? Like, I didn't know. He just looks like him, yo. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, it's hilarious. I always see that. Stephen Wolf, yeah, Stephen Wolf. Yeah, that's pretty hilarious and stuff. But yeah, all right then, everybody. I'm gonna get going. I gotta go do some stuff right now and things like that. I'll probably come back later online, and just again, you know, we'll chop it up later on and stuff like that. But it's been fun. We've talked for an hour and damn 16 minutes, so it's always good to chat and vibe with you and stuff like that. But I gotta go do some things and handle some business. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Make sure to watch those videos, share the videos, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You already know the drill into the business and stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, peace.